Hey everybody, welcome to Mixlife, episode 43. Today we're going to be talking about some non-traditional mixing methods, ways to cover up off notes in your recipes or change the profile without having to, completely ditch what you were doing. Ways to like dial down strong flavors if you want to crank one up, but you need to turn it back down afterwards or something like that. Just alternative ways to change how we approach mixing in maybe ways that you haven't thought of, and probably some ways you already have thought of. So I'm here with Adam and Rick. Say hello, gentlemen, because I have to turn myself off, as I've always forgotten to do.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good weekend.
Every freaking time, man.
I was just saying we're technically here and mostly awake, so we're ready to get this going.
Right. So yeah, please be patient with us because Rick and I both have only been awake for like less than 30 minutes. So, right. Well, I guess I've been awake for like an hour now. I woke up for 10 minutes before I'm normally supposed to set up the links and stuff. And right, so everything's a little rushed today, but we're doing well. A quick thing before we get started. Keep an eye on our spot at Chef's Flavors. We have some really super big news. We're going to be releasing a whole new round of one-shots through Chef's Flavors, but instead of just the standard release that we're doing, it's going to be 28 flavors from the entire e-juice makers team. So all 14 of us. That I have the list somewhere here. Now I have to have a list now because I forget. So that's Adam, myself, Rick, Chiba Stiba, ML Nikon, Apexified, Steam Room or Clayton, Chris DeVore, Fear, ID10T, Jen Jarvis, Seduced, Six Strings, and Too Tall. We'll all have two brand new one-shots over at Chef's Flavors at our spot there. Let me get you. I'll get a link here in the chat.
An ID10T.
I did say ID10T, didn't I?
We've been meaning to talk to him about it. There's a reason he wasn't in the list.
I was pretty sure I said ID10T.
You probably did. He just said "and me."
So by our deadline is March 1st, right? But there's kind of like a race for us to finish production and for them to finish production ahead of schedule. We wanted to see how fast we could. Well, I'm sorry, Dave. I thought I said your name. I did. See? Right. So there's the link. Keep an eye on that. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should have some stuff moving on there. A whole new round of one-shots from literally the whole group. It'll be the biggest singular one-shot release, I think, in the history of one-shots and DIY. At least for us folks in the States. So it's a really big deal, super huge deal. So hop in there, grab some one-shots from your favorite mixers. Take, the pricing is going to be pretty good. We're ready. Like, it's going to be a big, big, big thing. We're really excited.
$6 shipping to the United States.
Exactly. We have been like
flavor catalog too, so load up.
I have personally been mixing like nonstop for over a week to make sure that we get to where we want to be, right? And I've been working with everybody. I've been involved. Like, I've been everywhere. I can barely even see straight. My wonky eye is even wonkier than normal, which I'm really glad that I have like the glare to cover it up now. It's perfect. So it's gonna be super fun. Also, ML Nikon and myself both released new one-shots at e-cig. So come on over, hop on over there while you wait, check out our new one-shots. I released an RY S'mores, and where is the thing again?
Yeah,
you released like a blackberry something, right? Blackberry pie?
Honeycomb cereal had the same color scheme today. Like they'd done a special box.
Oh,
and
really?
I looked in the cereal section and I was like, it's Copel's S'mores colors.
Do I need to send them a blackberry milk? That looks cool, actually. I think I'm going to buy that. Blackberry's hard to do.
Yeah, we got about half the team over at e-cig Express now.
So there's ML Nikon and... Oh, no. Now I have to start over. God damn it. Here's the link to mine. Yeah, I'm super stoked, man. I was really excited to get this RY S'mores out there as a kind of a way to like bridge the gap between dessert vapors and tobacco vapors. There's RY S'mores. Go ahead
It's
and
a pretty good pun too, so you can't really beat a good pun for a juice name.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's a good juice and it's a great like wordplay, right? I try to do that. as often as I can, but it's not always easy. Over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing kind of like teaser menus and some like previews of some of the flavors. So keep an eye on our Mixlife group and the chefs group as well. And there's gonna be a lot more coming too. And chefs is not where we're stopping for the year, so be ready for a big year. It's gonna be awesome. Did I miss anything?
No, that's good.
The releases that I forgot about.
No, that's where we're at now. We got Wizard Labs. You can get 10 exclusives there. We still.
I think I saw that the packs were on sale.
Nice.
They were the sample packs.
Yeah, if you guys want to try those, you can get the sample packs. Like I think 5 for $10 or something reasonable.
5 for $12.99. They're on sale for $12.99 for the fruit pack or the dessert 5-pack. On sale at the e-juice makers spot here. Let me get that last link in there, and then we'll be done shilling for a little while.
Yeah, we're gonna be up around 40 concentrates from chefs, one-shots, once we release this, because we have 11 there right now. And we've released probably like 5 or 6 that hit the flavor graveyard before. So we'll be up around 50 plus releases, and then there'll be about 39 products for sale from chefs, which is cool.
Right. So there we go. Huge releases. God damn it, Rick.
I'm changing my mixing name. It's going around. I'm going to start mixing under the name Coopel. And they're all going to be chicken-themed recipes. I've got this all planned out. Don't worry about it.
It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see this.
Chicken and FA Jamaican rum is going to be in everything.
I get down with that. Right. So today we want to talk about kind of ways that you can use. Well, first we'll go through the obvious additive range before we go into the weird flavors that you can use to change other flavors. So if you're running into problems, there's a lot of different approaches you can take. So if you take, let's say you really like the flavor of TPA strawberry when you crank it all the way up to 8%, but it's kind of weird and plasticky and perfumey, and you need to force it back into a reasonable range. You can use a number of methods, right? So you can use TPA whipped cream or TPA smooth. I prefer TPA whipped cream because it's a little smoother, but they're both basically a triacetylene base, except that whipped cream is a smoother version of smooth, right? So chemically, they're not very different, though. And what they do, really what triacetylene does is kind of emulsifies your blend together, right? So it allows the strawberry to stand together with whatever else you've got in the recipe, and kind of causes it to taste more robust, and it kind of smooths over or mutes down those weird perfumey harsh tones. And you can use the same trick with really perfumey florals too, right? You can use TPA smooth or MTS. I like to use MTS with florals over smooth or whipped cream, because MTS also adds body to florals, which florals are very often kind of lacking in, right? They don't have a lot. Most floral flavors don't have a lot of body to them, right? A lot of mouthfeel, and MTS can really assist with that. So, Rick?
Yeah, I usually just use whipped cream if I need to really kind of. What I use whipped cream for a lot is to kind of mush things together. So I had a tropical sherbet recipe that used all very bright kind of floral fruits, and then I was using a cream base, and it wasn't really one big cohesive ball of flavor. It felt like fruits on top and then a cream base down there. And so I usually use TPA whipped cream to kind of mush everything down into a more compact flavor and kind of eliminate those really high top notes and drag up the bottom end of it too. I don't know. I abuse the hell out of whipped cream.
I think it's definitely a good way to like bring stuff together. It works better with like fruit blends, but it can kind of make bakeries kind of a little mushy. So we'll go over weird bakery stuff at the end, right?
Yeah, that's the big drawback with triacetylene is in general it destroys like bakery texture. So you're going to get a softer, like more mellow vape that feels a little bit fuller, but it completely annihilates any kind of bakery texture that you're going for.
Yeah, any grain or anything you got going on like that's going to turn like awkward and soggy kind of.
Like it definitely mushes everything together.
Right. Dragon fruit can do the same thing to a lesser degree, but it's not as powerful and not as effective as whipped cream, I don't think. It does contain triacetin, but it doesn't contain nearly the potency.
People have been sneaking dragon fruit into stuff forever. I know the big deal a long time ago was Returnity's apple cinnamon fritter, and he came out of fucking nowhere, at least in that forum, with, oh, you just throw some dragon fruit in with this bakery, and it kind of does that same mushing thing, but without completely ruining the texture.
Yeah, dragon fruit definitely has a finer touch, and it does work in bakeries despite its weird bubblegummy flavor. I don't actually like the flavor of TPA dragon fruit that much. It's not a bad flavor, but it's just not really my thing.
It's like a white gummy bear milkshake. It's great.
But if you dial it back and use it like at 1%, you usually don't taste it, but you still get the benefits of the smaller amount of triacetin in it. Yeah, we know he didn't pioneer that, Dave. It's just that he popularized it. Sort of like how you didn't pioneer honeysuckle and creams, but you popularized it.
And I made the caveat about the forum at the time.
I
covered my ass on that one.
I couldn't resist. I don't have the dragon fruit yet.
He is the pickle pioneer, though.
He is the pickle pioneer. That is true.
No one's going to take that from you.
That is true.
He's a pro at sticking his pickle places it doesn't belong.
I couldn't resist a chance to take a jab at Dave for that. I have been going through all the Vape Train flavors, and I really enjoy them so far. And I'll probably start doing some vid releases on reviews for them here in the near future. I have a lot of those planned, so I'm gonna be busy. Right.
What stands out right now? What are your favorites?
The Vape Trains?
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to just take a shot at their florals, right? So we haven't seen new florals on the market for a while. We got a few new florals from Flabora, but they can be they're really good, but some of them are inaccessible for newer mixers, and they don't want to take a risk on a $7 bottle of a floral, right? So they're good though. But the Vape Train Lavender is excellent. The Osmanthus is really good. The Rose is miles above Flavor Art Rose. I like it a lot. It's good stuff. You shut up about Vape Train, Dave. What are you gonna say? You can do. Look how salty he is, guys. What's he salty about?
I thought he made some big point that he wasn't like homicidal at the beginning of the show, but I'm glad that we went ahead and changed that for him.
Oh my lordy!
Can someone with a wrench take care of that guy?
Yeah. I don't have the floral. I don't have the lychee. I didn't get the lychee. Do they have a lychee? I don't think I see it. They have good florals, and I like their boozes a lot. All the boozes are really good. So I have the cognac, the whiskey, the rums, 2 rums. Yeah, they're good. I like them a lot. Their fruits are pretty solid. The shishas actually have like an actual like shisha vibe to them, so kind of like a wet leafy bit going with it. So
cool.
Oh, okay.
Someone's gonna mix the
he's salty because he hasn't got his samples yet. All right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Dave, I feel you too. Don't worry. I'm in the exact same boat. I'm just not to the point of strangling somebody.
Me move the offline, guys. I'll talk to you about all of that. I'll figure out what's going on. I'll talk to Theo.
Yeah,
but we'll cover that offline.
I don't have any, and I'm happy.
Right.
I got enough flavors I haven't tested.
Yeah. Well, now that we got completely fucking sidelined, where were we?
You're talking about flowers
and shit. Well, you asked me about standouts from Vape Train.
Yeah.
Flowers and shit.
Flowers, right? So MTS, I think it's my favorite like cheat code version of Smooth. It's triacetin and something else, and I'm not really sure because they never released that information, like as far as what it is. But it adds like a lot of like thickness, kind of like using Oba Oba and Smooth together, or Oba Oba and whipped cream together. So
it's a weird one because it's kind of just like, hey, if you don't care about your health, Throw some of this weird shit in there.
Well, no. I mean, there's nothing. It's all Fiona grass or whatever on the SDS sheet, so they're fine. It's from Flavor Art North America.
Yeah, I was fuzz.
Right.
Flavor Art's got pretty much the best. They got that whole Clearstream website where they do more than most. Like they were even. I was listening to the FDA call, and the FDA even applauded Flavor Art for how much they present, and they're ahead of the game when it comes to safe flavors.
Staying on the clean side, right? So this show isn't about flavor bending anymore.
It's totally about flavor bending,
right? Not that I hate that the term bending because it's not always that's not always the intent, right? Sometimes the intent there's a lot of different applications for the same thing. Good Dave over here, salty as fuck, man. Give this man a Snickers. What's going on?
He's Sunday wasted at 3:16.
Is he day drunk? Is that what's going on?
It's got to be day drunk.
Just pissed off and loaded on Lone Star down there.
fuck vape train, fuck Flavor Art. He gets country when he's drunk.
I guess so. All right. Well, moving on. Just gonna ignore Dave for now. I love you, buddy. But
now that we've pissed everybody off.
Whoa. We just talk about flavors. Everybody's salty.
Well, I use whipped cream like abusively. Anything with cream, I finish it with the TPA whipped cream usually.
And the flip to that is to use vanilla swirl for bakeries, where you would use dragon fruit to blend, and you can use vanilla swirl, maybe even more so than whipped cream or dragon fruit, because it can do a lot of other stuff with fruits too. Like if you want to make your fruit blend up into a candy, starbursty, high chewy kind of base, just put more vanilla swirl than you think is healthy in there. Crank it up to 3 or 4%, right? And really build the body, and then you got to let it steep for a week to have it really come through. But its flavor profile is low enough that even at 4%, it won't take away from the rest of your fruit, and it'll just add a really great texture, right?
Yeah, that's so across the world of vanillas, I mean, if you just get into the Flavor Apprentice ones and you actually look at the ingredient list they have on their site, you'll find that a lot of the same things are in those. So when you see somebody adding 3 or 4 vanillas, when you go and look, the majority of the ingredients in a lot of them is the same thing. So it's one of the kind of tricks you learn as you've been doing it a while is oh, I'm using the same core compounds in the recipe, so I don't need vanilla custard, vanilla swirl, and vanillin, because I'm already it's already 10% of this flavor already. So it helps to get down into the ingredients, at least on Flavor Apprentice, to get an idea of what's actually behind the flavor name of what you're using, and that helped me dial in my vanilla side a lot more. Is not overusing vanillas, and also finding where they hide EM in all these flavors, because you'll mute your stuff out a lot and not know why, and it's because you're using a single ingredient that's primarily ethyl maltol hidden in it and stuff. So that helps too.
That's how I feel about strawberry ripe. I can never taste it because it's just half EM anyways.
Yeah, and then it dies so fast. It maybe on a shake and vape, but it just, all the strawberry ones go whack after a week.
What was that, Rick?
Oh, I was going to say that, that's another big trick with sort of modifying your flavors is looking for sources of selective muting using maltol and ethyl maltol.
No, absolutely. Right. If you've got a really strong lemonade base, you can hide a bit of sharpness under a bit of strawberry ripe or something like that by using that ethyl maltol to your advantage.
And the Capella sweet fruits in general have a ton of maltol in them, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I think with the exception of sweet mango, I don't think sweet mango has very much, if it does any at all. And I can't get over the puke flavor anyways. So
yeah, sweet mango has a whole lot of that dumpster flavor that can bend your entire recipe into a dumpster if you really want to. So
The only time I ever use Cap Sweet Mango, because Cap Sweet Mango does have like this really unctuous, like overripe, like ripe till you like want to throw up, ripe, kind of thing.
It's candy mango.
It doesn't taste like candy to me. It literally tastes like you left a mango on the kitchen table for like a month and then tried to eat it in the middle of summer, right? It's like mushy, disgusting. Ugh. But if you use a really tiny bit of it, you can use it to add like a cooked vibe to stone fruits like peaches and stuff like that. Sort of like you would do with liquid amber, but I'd probably still use liquid amber just because I'm terrified of that puke flavor that's in there. Oh, they did send me a Flavora hat, but I think it's downstairs. Somebody just mentioned the Flavora hats. Shindo. Did you get one, Rick?
No, dude, I got a big old head. It definitely was not going to fit.
Bryson asked me. He asked me specifically if my head was bigger than yours or not, because he was curious.
Like I already had a big head, and then the last month happened. So yeah, it's just grown about that.
Right. Just continues to expand.
I'm straight shilling the Flavora hat. Look at that right there. But I had it backwards. They sent me more free shit, and then I turn it around. That's how it works. It's like 1 minute of the show gets a front-facing view.
Right.
So if they send you more Flavora cream, like that 4 ounce, you'll start wearing it front ways.
Oh yeah. Send me some Flavora cream.
I do. I need more wild melon. Do I need to go get my hat? Because I'm almost out of wild melon.
Yeah, that's like TPA whipped cream. I go through that as much as I go through sweetener, is the volume at which I use that one. So like that's a heavily used ingredient. Or like I really judge how much I use something by how many times I have to order it, or like how many times I throw a bottle out. Where I have bottles I bought from the original days still sitting around, but like whipped cream gets gone through.
Oh, Dave made a good point. Somehow overcome his rage enough to talk sense. Cap Jelly Candy does a good job cleaning up some of the off notes. I'm assuming he's referring to the Cap Mango rant, but Cap Jelly Candy is a really good way to use, or a good way to like add a buffer for like fruit candy blends, and to kind of tame some of the oddness of some of the like the more floral fruits. I think it does a pretty good job. It does a better job taming florals than I thought it would.
So we're not using whipped cream we're not using that ingredient for a whipped cream flavor. We're using it as like a chemical modifier for the triacetin.
Because the trick with that is it's actually a pretty awful whipped cream flavor. Most of the other whipped cream flavors are better. Capella's vanilla whipped cream is good. Flavor West sweet cream is good. It's just they don't do that same weird kind of juicy emulsification thing. And Flavora's cream actually has some of that same effect as TPA whipped cream if you need to do it.
Flavora's does? I haven't messed with it nearly enough. I like it. It's got a better whipped cream flavor than TPA's. I think it's got the best whipped cream flavor, honestly.
I think I threw it in the trash.
Flavora's cream, just their straight cream is what generally I'll use to like knock the edges off a bakery or something like that. It's a little bit less, just straight triacetin, but it still has some of that same kind of effect to it.
Nice. I like it. That's good. Fizzmaster reports that Cap Vanilla whipped cream also does that blending to some extent. It does. I think it contains triacetin, but I don't think it contains enough. Can I talk about MTS a little more? Sure. So MTS stands for mellow, thick, and smooth, right? So what it can do, especially if you have fruits that are perfumey, or what I like to use it the most in is citruses. So fighting the perpetual lemon fade, right? To get your lemon to stick in a recipe, you often have to use way more of it than is normally acceptable, and it gets harsh and brutal. And MTS can do a really good job of smoothing over harsh notes from the terpenes and citrus flavors. So if you want to like really crank up your orange or lemon or lime, especially, you can use a higher percentage. Like you can take TPA key lime up to like 7%, right? And then use 20.25 or 0.5% of MTS, and it's suddenly not as violent. I mean, the lime is still pretty overpowering at that point, but if you want a really super bold lime, like that's the way to go. Yeah, and that's what a lot of commercial places do. They just, they crank up the lime to like 11, and then they use sucralose or MTS or smooth to like stabilize it. It's so funny, you two.
I'm laughing at the chat because the Digital Drops made a joke that I was thinking in my head, and then Rick said his nickname was Bitter Wizard.
Right. Oh, that's good. My high school nickname was Menlo Thick and Smooth.
Mine was Bitter Wizard. I don't know. I want to give.
Are you sure, Graham? I thought your high school nickname was he's on the corner with this, the stuff. Right,
he's on the corner with the stuff.
Street corner pharmacy.
When dads describe drug dealers.
Right. When dads describe drug dealers, exactly.
These kids, they're on the corner with the stuff.
Bitter Wizard, though.
Actually, Bitter Wizard, man. That's
beyond just being my high school nickname. I kind of have been getting a new appreciation for Bitter Wizard. It really does help with some of that weird, sticky, cloying stuff, and it helps you do stuff in vaping that isn't just sweet on top of sweet. It's definitely easy to sort of overdo, but 0.5% of that can kind of knock out some of that super rich, sugary shit if you don't want it in like a tobacco or even like a more savory recipe.
What percentage were you saying for MTS?
I'm typing it in the chat right now. I usually start at like 0.25, and I usually don't go much over 0.5%. But you can go to a whole percent if you want to, if you're really struggling. But at that point, if it's not working at 0.5%, I usually go to like I usually just try something else first before I really fight with it, because at that point you're like locked in battle, and it's not a good idea.
Yeah, I want to use Capella vanilla custard for fruits. You can usually marshmallow works better if you're doing like an all fruit mix, just because there's so much. I mean, the Capella vanilla custard is so distinct that you can't hide that very well. So you can add marshmallow.
Well, you can find if you don't use 10% of the shit.
Yeah, but it's just like easy. I would argue it's like the most distinct of the custard vanilla creams. Where if you're gonna try, and you don't want to think in real life, you're not gonna like pour milk on a bowl of fruit, unless you're going for that blend of like a yogurt type of creamy custard type of thing with fruit. So if you're going for an all fruit mix, you're better off using marshmallow or real, like I've had whipped cream, diminish, where you use it on an all fruit and then it actually shows up. So like there's a point where the whipped cream doesn't work with all fruit, but marshmallow will. So that's something you can use.
Should have just called the show Whipped Cream. We keep
Whipped
going back
cream. It's gonna end weird. It's gonna end weird.
No, that's not gonna happen.
RY4 is a good layer because it doesn't. If you're building out a strong tobacco, you can use like 4% of that as filler, so you don't have to because it's not very distinct. I mean, there's a note there, but if you're coming in with any tobacco stronger than that, and you like a real tobacco, you don't want to be over like 1 or 2%, or else you're getting into like dry, peppery, spicy over. So using the RY4 as your base is a great way to fill and then accent with like 1 to 2% of a stronger, more spicy, more, powerful tobacco, so that's another one you can hide underneath.
Does anybody in the US even still carry Flavor Out whipped cream? Does e-cig still have it? Otherwise, you have to buy it from Italy. Or
apparently,
maybe Chef has it.
Dave Bellows in the chat says There's FA whipped cream fuckers out there. So watch out, folks.
Lordy. Lordy, lordy. So much vulgarity today, you guys. And then
we're gonna make the grandmas mad.
The cheat sheet that I use for bakeries, though, kind of the same way I use whipped cream, is it's honestly the cheapest, dirtiest trick in the book, and you just use more butter than you think you should use, right? Cap golden butter, which is basically like a bottle of diacetyl, right? Like you're literally just adding diketones intentionally to your recipe to like cover up off notes, but it works every single fucking time. If you've got a weird off note, it's not quite soft enough, or it's not quite dense enough, right? You just add 0.5% of golden butter and you're good to go. Like every time. It works all the time. Not even 60% of the time it works all the time. Every time.
Yeah, you use it. I've seen you use it a lot as an accent.
It's good, and it's good as an accent too. Like you don't. It doesn't have to be just. I know it's not actually diketones, but it's the point of the thing. Why doesn't it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But either way, the whole point is just cover it in butter. It's good. It works for Paula Deen. It works for me.
Cap's golden butter and Cap's buttercream, to me, I'm sure there's something that I'm missing out with on the Capella's like fruits and stuff, but I do actually use buttercream quite a bit to make things taste waxier. To me, I don't get much flavor off of them. I just get like some wax. And so I've used them with like frostings and stuff to take like a cream note and kind of turn it into a frosting by adding that wax to it.
Yeah, buttercream definitely works for that too. The waxy, like almost like cream cheese icing kind of vibe to it. Yeah, I use that. I use buttercream all the time. Well, when I make bakeries, I don't make bakeries very often. Like only a couple times a year. I work on it for my girlfriend, but I don't really pay attention to how they taste. I just give them to her, and if she complains, I make her a different one.
Capella disappoints me a lot. Like they sell you on the name, so you're like, oh, donut, that'll be great, and then you get it, and you're like, fucking sucks. Or like there's cinnamons, anything cinnamon, it's just disappointing. Like it. And then there's, I'm a big fan of like, I like the mango as like part of what a good mango is. Like it takes building. A lot of Capella you have to like build on to make it proper, where you can't get away with just like 6% Capella anything and expect you to end up with something decent. That's me. That's how I feel about it. But I like certain, like sweet lychee with Capella is like the best lychee if you're going for lychee. And then, the guava is pretty good. But, I don't know. I find with Capella, it's hard to like get to where you're trying to go without jumping brands and having to work on it a bit. The chat is turned up. You guys are turned up today.
It's all getting really angry, but I did just call Capella's cinnamon Danish swirl
basically poison.
Yeah, basically poison. So I'm happy. I got my rant out of the way.
It's not wrong. I used to kind of like CDS. It's an additive, but only like at 0.5% or lower. But yeah, I definitely don't use it very much anymore. And the bottle I have is probably over a year old, and I haven't touched it.
It's just not a real. There's something to the cinnamon where if you contrast it with rich cinnamon, their cinnamon comes across like, I don't know, like diet cinnamon. It's not a real thing, but that's kind of the effect it gives. Is like, all the bitterness of cinnamon without any of the roundedness of real cinnamon.
When I did use it before, there wasn't really like a plethora of really great cinnamons. Like cinnamon Ceylon was like kind of the only other like really like popular or well-known cinnamon at the time. Flavor of cinnamon roll and Cap CDS. Like those were your three choices. Like there wasn't very many other options. We have a lot of other options now, and a lot of better cinnamons, and like that technology has come a lot farther, come a lot farther. I can't fucking use English today, man. I'm dying.
Too tall showed up.
Flavor Art
just
Red.
rolling in.
So I thought Flavor Art Red Bean would be a lost cause after I vaped a few different samples of it, but I put it in a tobacco and it worked out pretty fucking well. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, Flavor West cinnamon roll is very good. That's so like to me, One Stop DIY Shop tastes like a raw cinnamon roll. Sorry guys, but it does. And then Flavor West actually tastes like the cooked cinnamon roll. So if you like bake shitty cinnamon rolls and you like that and you don't eat like cook them all the way through, then you can mix those two.
To me, Flavor West cinnamon roll just tastes like the paste they put in between the layers of actual dough.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
I don't really taste like an actual cinnamon roll. It just tastes like a little bit of icing. And then like there's like, it's just like the paste in the middle, right? Like that strawberry or like the cinnamon and like butter and icing emulsified at the bottom. Adam can't hold on to anything. He's got the dropsies, right? Like cerebral palsy or something.
So what would be a good strawberry to pair with sweet lychee? I haven't messed around with sweet lychee. Copel?
Sweet lychee? See, the problem is that I don't fuck with strawberries very often, but I think that probably in a way shisha strawberry or just TPA strawberry would be the two that I would try the first. Maybe Flavor Arts Juicy Strawberry, but I'm not as familiar. I've only used it a few times. But I never really thought to pair it. I don't use strawberry very often, so I'm not really a strawberry guy. Yeah. But shisha strawberry is usually like a given because it's like the only one I can taste like every time pretty consistently.
I don't know. Shisha strawberry still just tastes green to me. Like it tastes like candied strawberry tops, like the green stem part. I don't know. I may just be broken. All the strawberries, the ones that I can taste, just taste super green.
I have the same problem. I think I get less green from Inaware than you do. But I've heard that before. Like it just tastes like all green to other people.
Like I don't know if they're going.
TPA ripe just smells like that. It tastes like that. TPA strawberry ripe just tastes like the stem and some perfume.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between Inaware melon or Flavora wild melon, I would choose Flavora wild melon every single time.
Oh yeah.
I choose both. Sure. I like both of them, but wild melon probably has a slight edge. Yeah,
Inaware melon is really good. I don't know what the pricing difference is. Inaware melon is kind of expensive. It's like $4 something for a 10 mil. So I guess Flavora wild melon would still win pretty much every time. I do like Inaware melon though; it's really good. Or Loran's melon was another good choice if you're balling on a budget.
I don't know if my shisha went bad from being open, but like when I got it, I liked it, and then I opened it the other day and I was like, "Fuck this one." So I don't know if it's my opinion of it over time or if it just kind of like aged in the bottle, but. Not what I remember when I first got it. Could just be old though. Yeah, I think all strawberries kind of just. I
think because people put like strawberry flavors like on this platform in DIY, right? Where strawberries are like the pinnacle. Everybody wants strawberry this or strawberry that, strawberry fucking everything. And then when you actually try the strawberries that are available to us, you're like, well, this isn't what I was expecting at all. What a bummer. Right, you still get there, and it's a bummer that you have to use like 3 different fucking strawberries to build a decent one, and there isn't really just a good answer to a single standalone.
I mean, is there a gulf between how good, like it might be the widest gulf between how good something is in real life, because like actual fresh strawberries are amazing, and all the flavors are just kind of meh, and people keep trying to make it work.
No, I think that's accurate. Yeah, there's like a really wide difference in like our perception of what a fresh strawberry tastes like, and then trying to vape a strawberry flavor. If you use some of these strawberry flavorings in like milk or whatever, like actual milk, not like a vape thing, like it's pretty good. But when the translation to vaping, it doesn't work as well.
So strawberry is like magic because it has a chemical that tells your brain it's 10 times sweeter than what you're tasting, and like other fruits don't have it. I was watching the fruit science show on Netflix, whatever, but it like blew my mind when I saw that part. So like you taste the strawberry, it tells your brain that it's like 10 times sweeter. And the flavorings don't have that. So you're always going to be like short. I really think, and that's why I think the vape shops get away with it of like a solid strawberry, is because they're abusing the sweetener, which is kind of like tricking your brain of what it thinks a strawberry really is, but it's not. And then all the flavorings on the market are the parts of a strawberry that aren't just sugar. So it's a weird, I think that's why it's so difficult, is because the flavorings are trying to capture the non-sweet part. And then that's why on the vape shop side, I bet you they're using like 4%, 5% of.
Adam, what's the name of that show? Somebody in chat's asking.
I don't know. It was really good though. I'll see if I can find it for
you. Good stuff. Did we miss anything? We covered all like the standard tricks, right? And then, you know, there's lots of other little things you can do. Like if you're working with an Apple profile, you can use pear or quince to bolster the apple without changing it, and not necessarily enough to taste the pear. You can use lemon to brighten the apple. You can use lemon to brighten almost everything, and you don't have to use enough lemon to actually taste it.
No, you guys are right. It's food science. It's food delicious science, like food delicious science, and it's one season.
I'll even get a link of it.
Some of it's bullshit, but some of it's really good, so it's worth watching.
Netflix.
We're just switching over to Netflix cooking documentary reviews from now on.
Subscribers going up.
It's a PBS documentary.
Although Netflix does have that really awesome, is it Chef's Table or is that the PBS one? Anyway, they have one that does,
Chef's Table's badass.
Yeah, they do those deep dives on individual cooks. That's super interesting.
Yeah, I like that one.
Makes me want to cook more every time I watch it. I'm like, oh gosh.
I just think of Shindo on one of those things, calling people unfortunate names and talking about his 3-star life. I caught myself before I started saying those unfortunate names, but
you've been demonetized for not being family friendly.
If you guys want to get more into the
from everything,
where is the Reddit link? Hang on a minute. Is there still that big wall of text in the Deeper DIY sub?
I don't know.
In the sidebar. Here. Here's a subreddit for Deeper DIY for people who want to nerd out on the chemistry side. If you check out the sidebar there, there's a link to a lot of information that'll get you started. The basic stuff, and then there's like you can just buy like flavor chemistry food like textbooks or whatever, I guess. On
five active users.
Right, they don't have very many active users. It's kind of a dead sub, but there's a lot of good information there for you to check out.
A lot of good information and a pretty substantial DIY dick measuring contest all in one place.
Right. Well, I think AB Data was like the founder, right? Like, or he was really super active. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of dicks on tables, right? With like rulers out.
Yeah.
When you guys get a chance, everybody ask Dave about how he feels about watermelon and cinnamon. Just do it.
I got a section on the how to make vape juice page on eJuice Makers. That's deeper DIY stuff. So if you're like trying to get weird, further down in that section.
There used to be a Dropbox in the Deeper DIY that had a link to a bunch of like flavor chemistry texts. So if you really want to get like, if you really want to dig like super, I don't see the link right now, but it used to be there. It might be in the regular sub too. I don't know.
I think that just understanding, I think understanding some of the chemistry part of it can help in certain applications, but yeah. I don't know. I've never met anybody who was super into the science of DIY and pushed that above like actually putting flavors in bottles that did a particularly great job.
Yeah, I think you have to like the first thing, or I guess kind of like the thing that really stands out is having a good palate, right? So if you've cooked before, if you've been a bartender, if you know how flavor combos work, because like that was my advantage, was I was really into like cooking for people, not professional chef, but I always worked in like fancy restaurants that were like making chef's table type food, learning stuff like that, like flavor pairings. And then that helps because you're like, oh, well, I pair this with this, And then when you have that kind of knowledge of like, well, what would go good in real life, it makes making a mix better. So it does help to learn traditional flavor pairing stuff that you'd find on food. I see a lot of people that kind of have, kitchen backgrounds. There's even a James Beard Award winner. That's Darth Vapor, that guy's won a James Beard Award and mixes up stuff. So you'll definitely see that a lot as like chefs moving over to this or having an advantage because they've spent time with flavor pairing.
Yeah. My last cheat sheet mention is for tobaccos. If you're really into tobaccos and you want to build them a little bolder without them getting dry and weird, you can always use Flavora Lovage to add kind of like a wet green freshness. It's really disgusting flavor on its own, but it does glorious things for tobaccos. And I'll never stop shilling for Lovage, even if it's like the most undersold flavor in Flavora's inventory.
I snuck it into a menthol that I made. I made it for someone else, and then I never saw him, so I vaped it, 18 milligram, dripping. Boss, I'm on Concrete River level, but I snuck some Lovage behind like peppermint and menthol, and it was good. It does add like a nice. It doesn't stand out. It just adds like a nice layer.
You have to keep it ultra low, or it turns to like wet salad grossness.
Yeah, with mints, Lovage helps to give the entire vape some body, so you don't just get like straight, almost astringent menthol. It actually adds like a body, and any kind of like weird salad notes are pretty much annihilated by all the mint in there anyway.
No, Dave, you have it wrong. It's banana and clove. Mango does not go with clove. It's banana.
Speaking of sciencey things, isn't that like both like isomel acetate or some shit like that? There's some chemical that they share.
They share volatiles that I can't pronounce properly, so I won't bother trying. But yes, they share volatiles, and that's why they work so well together. Same with Mango Beauregard. When I released the Mango and Violet, they share 3 different volatiles. Right? Laugh it up. And Dave knows why it's funny. Right, so Mango Beauregard. So Mango and Violet share specific volatiles that allow them to kind of blend together and become like a new flavor as opposed to being mango or violet. Same with banana and clove. Next day.
Blove. We're calling that flavor Blove.
Sea Love.
The bitter wizard.
Right. Flying away.
Hey, he's bearded like a wizard, so we got that going on.
Right, and I have like a wizard staff back there somewhere. That Matt Digital sent me.
Oh, I still dig sending you stuff in the mail because the post office ladies look at me like I'm a fucking loon for putting his bearded holiness on there.
And now my girlfriend just shrieks, "His bearded holiness!" as she slams packages at the foot of the stairs. Pretty good.
That's perfect.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And yes, a lot of the banana flavors we use already have clove in them.
Lemongrass and RY4. I don't know.
I need to dig my lemongrass back out. That's cool stuff.
Lemongrass is cool for any citrus as an accent to make it wilder, add more mystery.
I think the lemongrass would actually work really well with the RY4 because like TPA's RY4, Jungle Flavors RY4. They both, to me, don't have much tobacco, but the tobacco that is there is kind of like that grassy, like hay note, and the lemongrass should actually bump that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there. That could be doable. Maybe I'll mess with that later. I still have some Jungle Flavors RY4 I want to mess with some more. It's good. I like it better than TPA's. TPA's just tastes like dirty caramel to me. Jungle Flavors is a little more robust.
Jungle Flavors RY4 is like TPA's RY4, but more, which I kind of dig.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just, yeah, it's good. I like it a lot.
RY4 triple.
It's like somewhere between like Holy Grail RY4, which is really just like a one shot anyways, right? And TPA's RY4. I like it better. I think I actually like it better than Soho now. And I do like Soho quite a bit, which isn't technically an RY4 anyways, but it's got a lot of RY4 elements in it. Right. Did I miss anything? Did I not cover a ninja trick that we talked about before the show and I forgot about somehow because I'm not awake yet?
I don't know. I'm pretty much out of tricks, man. Now anybody can reverse engineer one of my juices by mentioning dragon fruit and vanilla swirl. If there's something going on and it doesn't make any sense, there's probably some dragon fruit or vanilla swirl somewhere in there.
90% of the time, vanilla swirl.
And fig. Flavora figs in there if concrete made it.
Right. So I do have a really specific trick with Flavora fig that seems to work. Apple Pop by Flavora. Like those kind of drier apple flavors like Flavor Arts Fuji and stuff tend to kind of mask that weird kind of cat piss floral note you get with like pipe tobaccos and like Flavora's fig. I have no idea why that works, and I kind of stumbled onto that one by accident, but mix your apples and your figs and it tends to do good things.
You're pretty much right, Nanny Chef. It's pretty much, they're pretty much all volatiles, right? They're all like aroma volatiles or molecules. Call them whatever you want. You know, I'm American, so I don't ever use the right word for the thing I'm supposed to mean, right? I don't use the right language. I'm not supposed to. It's anti-American to do so. Which strawberry works with Red Summer, Watermelon, Flavor Art sub vapes? Probably any of them, really. Like Red Summer is a pretty mellow watermelon, so it's easy to blend with whichever one you like the best. I think any one of them would work.
I know that Red Touch from Flavor Art was the basis for all those strap-on recipes, so maybe start there.
Yeah, that's a good call. And Red Touch is probably one of my. It's a good strawberry that I actually enjoy using, like more often than the others generally. My only problem with it is the fade. I get a lot of fade from FA strawberry. I can taste it really well when it's fresh, but then like 3 days later, I don't taste anything. They don't need a jungle juice flavor because Flavor West jungle juice already has everybody covered more than they could ever need.
Remember when everybody thought Jungle Flavors was from like a European brand and not made by e-cig Swiss?
Right, but they were another company, and
I think they were German originally.
They were German, and ECX bought out their name and started producing them here, as I understand it. I could be wrong, but
they still have some of the legacy flavors from that German company, which are kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, some of them were weird. Their Juicy Lemon, I think, wasn't that part of the original run, the original round.
I don't know. I'm more thinking about their pomegranate orange and their boysenberry. Both those are kind of bizarre.
I don't think I've tried the pomegranate orange, which is weird because I really like pomegranate flavors, even though there aren't very many good ones.
Pomegranate orange tastes like pink pixie sticks. It's very strange.
All right. Good stuff. Well, we're almost to the end here. Any last minute questions from the chat? We got a lot of questions today. A lot more than normal. Sorry for being sidetracked so much today, guys. We'll be more ready next week, maybe. Probably. This
is the best you guys get for free.
Oh my god!
It's what you get.
Wow. Well, Adam went there.
We just put it all out on the table right there.
Just to follow up on what I said earlier, for the people that weren't here at the beginning of the chat, I already made this speech at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to make it again. Keep an eye out on our spot at Chef's Flavors. We're going to have one of the biggest DIY releases in the last year. We're going to have 28 brand new one-shots from the entire e-juice makers team. So 2 flavors from every single mixer in the e-juice makers lineup. Here's the link to our current one-shots there, and everything's going to be going up under the same. So that'll be 2 new flavors from myself, Adam, Jen Jarvis, Concrete River, Fear, Apexified, Too Tall. I got to get the list now because I'm forgetting. Oh my God, there's so many. ML
14.
Nikon. Where am I forgetting?
Let's see. 6 strings.
6 strings. Chris DVR, Chris DeVore, Fear, Seduced. Is that everybody? Apexified? Did I say Apexified? I think I did. Who did I miss? Somebody tell me I missed them so I can feel bad.
Cheapest ID10T.
ID10T. Say ID10T 3 times in the mirror before you go to bed. Chibastiva. There we go. Right. I got everybody, I think. So, in the next month, we're still working out the final details, and then chefs will go into production in the next week or 2. Dave quit. Lordy.
Someone get Dave on a video chat to do flavor.
I said steam room. I'm pretty sure I said steam room. I definitely said it.
Steam room.
I was in a hurry.
Nobody ever forgets steam room. It's fine.
How could we forget you, Clayton?
Claytown, aka Moneymaker.
Right.
That's a better name.
AKA getting them dollars.
I use the Sweet Woodruff from Jungle Flavors, Lonesome Roads. I like it. It's weird. It's herbal, but it's good. I really like it.
TPA has a sweet woodruff too that I think I had at one point. I couldn't figure out anything to do with it, but it's been a year and a half, I think, since I tossed it. So I might be able to figure out something now, theoretically.
Lonnie asked if any of us actively mixed with PDO versus PG. I did like a month-long side-by-side with PDO. And overall, using PDO in place of PG is a smoother delivery, but it's more expensive by a mile. PDO is way more expensive than PG, unless you're buying on like a massive wholesale scale, which most of us on the hobbyist side are not doing. PDO-based flavorings, I think Real Flavors is the only company really doing PDO-based flavorings. And while I like some of Real Flavors, overall, I find that they kind of lack some depth and body. And that's not always because of the PG, and probably more because of the aromas they're using to build the flavorings.
But Mixer Collection is PDO. So
right.
Lonnie,
our juice line in Canada does use PDO, but
it works.
And it works really well. But the hobbyist side, PDO is just not accessible enough for us to use it as a replacement. It's easily triple the price.
We're giving ourselves charity now.
No, I don't think that's why RFSC doesn't mix well with other concentrates. Not the PDO base. PDO base isn't. It's not what's affecting it, right? It's just whatever they're using to develop their flavors. It just doesn't blend well with others. But I don't think the PDO base doesn't have anything to do with it. And a lot of their bases are alcohol and not necessarily just PDO. They don't use PDO exclusively.
And steam room.
Steam room vaping. Thank you for the $2 donation. I will never forget you again. Right.
Wait, who gave us that $2 donation? I can't remember.
Oh, the other one?
Oh, that one. I can't remember. No, someone just gave us one. I can't remember who it was.
It was Clayton.
It was Dave, right? It was definitely Dave.
I'm not sure. No, I don't know. Now we can all see it.
It was steam room, folks.
Right. If you have other questions about PDO, you can hit me up. I worked with it for a couple of months.
I don't know, and I will definitely agree with ID10T or Dave, if you will. Something is wrong with Real Flavor Super Concentrates, and anybody who says otherwise isn't paying attention. Just throwing that out there.
There's just something off that doesn't. They're thin, right? They're all like everything is thin.
I mean, some of them taste awesome. They just don't vape for shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really know. I haven't tested enough of their line to be like super solid on it, but Dave said he wouldn't donate that $2 for a bottle of water if you were on fire.
We're
And
just
the
gonna go ahead and
meanest
call Dave
bastard.
Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah, meanest bastard in Texas award goes to Dave Bellows.
Bellows.
I just like having Dave around because he makes me seem likable. So that's cool.
No, there are some flavors, Rory, that we really enjoy from real flavors. They are just difficult to work with in general. Walt, if you're watching, we still love you, buddy.
I'm
having a hard time working with your stuff.
I don't.
Well, okay, Rick hates you.
I've never tried a real flavors concentrate.
Oh my lord! I'll send you mine. I don't want them anymore.
Don't send me your unwanteds.
All right. I think that's about it. We hit our hour threshold here, guys. When is Chris DVR coming onto the show? We tested his webcam the other day, and it was like rough, dude. So I don't know.
It was
rough.
It was rougher than all this, and that's saying something. So.
Right? Yeah, he lagged more than Rick by a lot. So it was worse than that time we tried to get Too Tall on the show. So I'm just gonna say that. If you remember that, Rory, it was pretty bad.
Too Tall called in from a payphone with an original Kodak camera, disposable.
Right, that was pretty much it. Right, he was low tech in it.
Be quicker just to send Polaroids through the mail.
Right, like, this burner phone won't do video.
So have a good week, guys. Keep an eye on our chef's location or our chef spot, and there'll be some big releases there. Check out our new one shots over at e-cig. Myself and ML Nikon have new one shots up there. Buy them so that I can buy some tacos because I'm really, really hungry.
Get some sugar cookie fluff.
And I guess you can buy Adams too if you feel like, a pity purchase while you're at it.
Also, Wizard Labs.
I couldn't help it. Yeah, check out our one shots at Wizard Labs.
Wizard Labs.
And if you're into the finished juice thing, we always have the mixer collection in Canada. So give it a shot. They're all over the country. So
premium as fuck.
They are premium as fuck. Cheers. Love you guys.